So here's Buddy playing with his good friend Poppy. Anyway, I was thinking about this dog park and how there are some boundaries around this dog park, whether it's trees or, there's some places with dense trees and there's a natural incline. And then there's, sort of like the fence before, in front of the street. These constraints allow these dogs to play wonderfully well and safely. And I was thinking about how constraints in our lives allow us to be creative, to come up with inventions and innovations that otherwise wouldn't happen. It allows us to exercise our intelligence and practice our virtue if more than if the constraints weren't there. Some of the common constraints in your life might be you don't have enough time. Now, there's a reason why you are here in this life without an infinite amount of time. Okay? For any project, you have the ultimate project of this one human life you have a limited amount of time with, and every project you do, you may have 2 weeks to launch something, or a month, or you may have an hour to finish something. There's time constraints, there are money constraints. Okay, the money constraints is also very important because I have heard many stories of startup businesses that had plenty of money in the beginning, and then so they invested in advertising and invested in fancy offices and fancy fancy branding or whatever, all these things. But if they didn't have the money, they would have found creative ways to quickly get a new customer. Okay, and they would have focused more on the conversations with individual prospective customers and quickly innovated on how they explain their messaging so that they get a yes from clients and customers, right? So the money constraints are actually healthy for most businesses that I've ever heard of. And time constraints as well. Without time constraints, you will take a long time to get things done. One of my clients recently said, my birthday's coming up and I have to decide on my business offering by my birthday. So that was a natural constraint that felt meaningful for him. So you got to find constraints that are meaningful for you. Now, if you don't constrain yourself, you'll let other people constrain you. That's what it means to go get a job. When you go get a job, other people put constraints on you so that you can get things done. Okay? But if you're working for yourself, you have got to put your own constraints and be creative in finding meaningful constraints of time and money and space or whatever so that you can actually exercise your creativity and your intelligence. Okay? Constraints in business are like lifting weights at the gymnasium. You go to a gym and you're grateful that they have workout machines and they have weights. If you went to a gym and there was nothing but an empty room and you could do whatever you want, your workout wouldn't be as productive. You wouldn't grow your muscles and your capabilities as effectively. See what I mean? And so I encourage you today to bless your constraints and to always say, gosh, these constraints are here to help me grow my capacities more skillfully, more productively, and serve the world with what I've got. So your constraints are not random. Your constraints are there to help you. So until the next episode, I hope that you'll have a more positive attitude on the limitations you currently have in your life. They're there for you, and I hope you'll bless them and benefit from them. I wish you well.